Welcome to the Fempire podcast for women building empires where your health, relationships, and wealth rise together. I am your host, Jessica Joy. Let's sharpen the axe and dive in. Welcome to the Needle Movers for Nutrition Part 2. This is where I teach you the 4 phases of fat loss when it comes to your nutrition that will help you break plateaus, get to the body composition that you want, where you have a certain amount of muscle and a certain amount of body fat percentage, and it makes you look tight, toned. And most importantly, we're doing this in a way where we always prioritize your metabolism and hormones first, because when you do, that sets you up to 1, get better results, but 2, make the maintenance of them like so freaking doable. Okay. If things are feeling like this uphill battle, it is a red flag that we need to prioritize your metabolism and hormones more, to be honest. Like, that's why things feel really hard, is when your metabolism and hormones need more support. So we always make those a priority. So with these 4 phases, it's going to make it so you don't feel like you plateau or you paint yourself into a corner and you're like, okay, I can't go any farther. I'm so over this. Like, I can't maintain this. And it's going to prevent yo-yoing, where you lose weight and then gain it back. For me, I did this for years. I would lose weight and then gain it back, plus some, gradually gain 25 pounds. Okay. Even though I was tracking my calories probably 70% of the time, and I still gained 25 pounds, and I was still exercising like 5-7 days a week, still gained 25 freaking pounds, because I did not understand how to take fat loss in phases. And that's huge. Once you learn this, you're going to be like, that's why I've been yo-yoing for so long. That's what? Why don't they teach you this? I know, it's messed up, but we're here now, and I will teach you what's going on. Okay, so like I always say, we always prioritize your health and energy first. And I believe you can be in a body that makes you feel great, that it's like looking like how you want your body to look, working with your body type, right? Okay, so phases with nutrition. The big problem that keeps women stuck in yo-yoing is that we get one tool. We learn one phase, which is what I call a cut phase. It's where you're in a calorie deficit. We've heard it all over. You must be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. Well, duh, we know. Hashtag duh. So then there's a bazillion different diets that help you, in the end, ultimately, it's a cut phase. It's eating less to lose fat. Okay, we're going to say you can't eat these foods and you'll lose fat. Oh, we're going to say you eat 500 calories 2 days a week, and then the other days you eat this many calories. Oh, we're going to say that 1 day a week you do a cleanse day, and then you have to have our shakes. In the end, it all adds up to a moderate caloric deficit or an aggressive caloric deficit. But that is one of the 4 phases that you need to lose weight, get the ideal body composition you want, and maintain it. Okay. And a cut phase is a stressor to your body. So if you only know how to do a cut phase or a moderate deficit, at some point, what's happening is cortisol is coming up and your ghrelin hormone is coming up. Okay, so your stress hormone and your hunger hormone are coming up. This is why when I only knew how to cut calories, I would always gain it back, because eventually my body's stressed and freaking hungry and I couldn't control myself and I would start binging. And then I gain the weight back and then I do some other type of diet. Well, you know what? I think sugar's bad. Sugar always triggers my cravings. So if I keep sugar out of my diet and hit this calorie goal, then I'll make it. And even my calorie goal wasn't all that low. It was still like 1,600. But it was still too low for me, and I didn't know how to do a cut phase. So that's the big problem, is like, we have this one tool in the tool belt of, okay, cut my calories in one way or another. But we need other tools. What are the other tools? Okay. So after that phase, your metabolism will be a bit slower after a caloric deficit, and your fat storing hormones will be a bit higher. Okay, like cortisol, like ghrelin. So what we want to do is, if you lost, let's say you lost 10 pounds in that cut, freaking rad. Okay, we don't want to gain it back, but your body needs a break from that fat loss. And so what we want to do is what I call a metabolic. This is the second phase, metabolic restoration protocol. You may have heard of reverse diet. It's pretty much like that. Okay, where you're gradually eating more, because just like when you were in the cut, your metabolism downregulated, it's burning less now. If you gradually eat less, you burn less. If you gradually eat more, then your metabolism will upregulate. Now, when you do this gradually, your body adapts and starts using that fuel, right? So that you're not just gaining the weight back, but as you gradually eat more, your body starts to use that fuel. If you compare this with weight training, it's really going to help your body use that fuel to build muscle. Amazing, which is going to make you look better, feel better, all kinds of good things. And with this, cortisol is going to come down. Ghrelin's going to come down. You're just going to have more energy and feel better, okay? And then you're maintaining that weight loss. And then if you have more weight to lose, then when you go into another cut, your body will be more responsive. What typically happens is people see fat loss for like 4 to 8 weeks, and then they hit that plateau because their body needs a freaking break from the weight loss. But we don't have another tool. So what do? Eat less or gain it back. Okay. Enter phase 2, metabolic restoration phase. Okay. Awesome. Now, what happens if you've done so many diets or have undereaten so much because you have so much going on that you find out? We always have women track their food for at least a week, including the weekend, to assess how much their body is used to eating. What happens if you find out? We've seen women who are eating 1,000 calories a day, grown women, like that's, but their body is actually adapted to that. What are we going to do? Cut it to 900 calories a day? No. Her body is screaming for a metabolic restoration phase. That's what we're going to actually start with before we even attempt some type of deficit. Okay, because her hormones and metabolism need some frickin' support right now. Okay, so we have those 2 phases. Some people need to start, most women honestly, need to start with a metabolic restoration phase first. Okay, and for some ladies, it could be like, but I just want to get to fat loss. Honestly, sometimes in this phase, women will lose fat. It can be so thrilling. They're like, wait a second, I'm eating more and losing weight? Like, yes, your body was begging for more food. Finally, your cortisol's coming down. Finally, your body's not trying to hold on to everything because it knows it's going to be getting enough, right? So beautiful. Now, what are the other phases? Everybody needs to understand how to maintain simply. Okay, so just straight up maintenance is another phase and a skill that you want to develop. And for me, like, maintenance needs to be, I'm not tracking. I know how to hit my PFF. I like how I'm eating. I know I have a really good understanding of my nutritional needs now. And I'm really confident about consistently eyeballing it and maintaining my physique. Amazing. Now, this can be hard even for me. I'll maintain, but my body composition might get a little bit softer. Okay, so that's where I would go back into a shortcut phase and a metabolic restoration phase, and boom, bada bing. You always pair a cut phase with a metabolic restoration phase. That's how you get out of it. Okay, they go together. Okay, it's a whole circle. All this whole cut phase, C for cut, is half of the circle. We need to pair it with a metabolic restoration phase. When we complete the circle, then your metabolism and hormones are in a good place after that fat loss. Hallelujah. Now, something my head assistant coach and I developed about a year ago that has been phenomenal. She is a registered RN. She was an RN for 10 years. She's been coaching for 7. Just really in the nitty-gritty of transforming women's bodies and lives, really empowering them. I've had her coach me in seasons because when I want to be in the seat of the client and like really understand how we can always make our services better. And I told her, I'm like, Lindsay, I have this idea to do. I was crafting a program called the Maserati Body. I never launched it, but it did end up helping us create what I call a shred reset phase, or we call a shred reset phase. What is this? This is where you sharpen your quality of nutrition up more than may be sustainable, but you're choosing to do an intentional phase. This could be like 4 weeks, shred reset. We design a custom meal guide for the person that's going to put 90% whole foods, and the majority of their carbs are coming from fruits and veg. Okay. And there's some other little things that we'll add in there to help their body respond. But it's a much more clear target that it's like, hey, we're not just if it fits my macros right now. We're really like quality of nutrition, getting your fiber up, and really like it's a level of locked in from an empowered place, like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then that's when their fat loss will really accelerate, and they actually will improve their quality of nutrition after. When I did mine, it was nice to have the clear targets. And then after, I just craved more fruits and veggies in general. So it helped me reach a new level in my nutrition and physique where I leaned out really beautifully, but I was I actually didn't adjust even my macros. It was more the quality of nutrition. But we'll do those phases with clients who, it's never something we would start somebody out with. It's somebody who knows the ropes and they just want to take that edge, dial up that edge a little bit. And it's like, man, my body's responding more. And then after that phase, we have a special integration phase where it's like, okay, for a while, we know you love your chips. We're going to get those chips back in here now, but doing it in a more like intentionally controlled way where it's like, I know you like to have more drinks than this. Okay, we're doing the shred reset. We're not drinking. Cool. 4 weeks, no drinking. Let's do it. And then after their shred reset, they know it's a push beyond maintenance. It's a push beyond just like, oh, I could do this forever. It's a push beyond, I wouldn't want to do this forever, but I'm willing to do a shred reset so that I can just break this plateau, reach a new level, and then from there I can maintain it. Okay. So that's a fun one I like to do. Now, most diets are freaking shred resets and it's just too much all at once and it's never sustainable to begin with. They're like, here's your meal plan that's a cookie cutter for everybody else and you hate half of the food on it and you're used to 50% of your nutrition is processed food, bam, 100% perfect, or you didn't do it right. It's just too much at once. These are for our clients who know the ropes and they want to take it up a notch. So those are the 4 phases. I hope you can see that it's okay, if you take them in phases, cut, metabolic restoration phase, learn how to maintain. And if you want to take it to another level, there's a shred reset. If you want to talk about getting coaching on this, where we can really customize the right targets for you, that's really key. How much food do you need to eat is a game changer. If you're kind of guessing it, you can work really hard, but not quite see the results that you want. So you can always message me anywhere on Insta. It's Jessica Joy. You can email me, just find me and DM me, or it's jessicajoy@fempireperformance.com. You can email. All right. So what do you do with this information? Let's talk about assessing. We always assess first. Yes, non-negotiable. So this is where I recommend tracking your food for a week, including the weekends, because how you eat on the weekend can be totally different from how you eat on the week. We all know it to be true. Okay. So from that data, we would assess, okay, is this person under eating? Are they maintaining? Are they overeating? Okay. If they come in under eating, they need to go straight into a metabolic restoration phase. If they come in maintaining, cool, we can go into a cut phase. Obviously, we can go into a cut phase. Okay. So first we need to see what phase they need to start at based on how they've been eating. Then we need to see, okay, how much protein are they getting is always number one. Assess that. Okay. And after coaching hundreds of women, and I just tallied it, we've had over 350 women on our custom app. That means all of them have tracked their food. Okay. Because everybody needs a season of food tracking. It's not for forever. Okay. I just want to have that little caveat in there, but it's if you want to move the needle with your physique, get to tracking that 10 minutes a day. It can transform your whole body. If you're willing to spend so much time in the gym, you can work out way less and get better results if you're tracking. I'm just saying. So, and then there are seasons where our clients do not track. Okay. And then we teach them how to not track and maintain. So, caveat, over 350 women. That means we've assessed all of their nutrition on week 1, and 90% of women are low on protein. I would say even 95%. I have the data. Okay. So start there. Okay. Then we'll establish the phase that they're in. And then after coaching for years, we've found that making a custom meal guide for somebody really helps reduce the decisions they have to make about their food choices. The fewer food decisions you have to make, the easier it is to adhere. So we'll make a custom meal guide based on their preferences and situation. What foods do they like? What foods do they not like? Cool. Custom meal guide based on the things you like. And then we'll base it on their situation. So a lot of our ladies, they'll eat their own breakfast, lunch, and then they'll eat dinner with their family. And so they need support with family dinners and whatnot. But everybody's a little bit different. It needs to work for you, right? So, but then when you have more of that guide, it's not okay, what am I going to eat? Or, okay, I could balance, okay, I need to get more protein and fat by the end of the day. And it's this exhausting Tetris game. It's okay, just design the meal guide for you for the week. We'll do them for the month for them. So because those clear targets make adherence so much easier. And then you can just focus on eating the food and moving on with your life. Okay, so you can design a menu for yourself. Now, the macros matter. If you want support, you know where to find me. having a menu just in general, even if you're just doing PFF, is you're only going to make your nutrition easier and be more consistent with meeting your nutritional needs, which means you're going to have more energy, you're going to feel better, and will perpetuate making more beneficial nutritional choices. Great. All right. So that's it. If you put these needle movers together and just get really good at them, like those are the foundational pieces. I was very forthcoming. Like I could have hit all of this. I didn't have to share all of this, but I really am here to empower women and cut the confusion. Again, your energy is too precious to be spent in confusion and yo-yoing. I was there for years. I can't get that time back. I can't get that energy back. I can't get that presence back with where that energy could have gone instead. But I can empower women to change the trajectory of how they're showing up for their health and stop putting energy toward, okay, just cutting out foods and working out more. Well, that's not really helping them that much, is it? But if we can have you become informed on these tools that really move the needle and just get better at those, great. You're going to have great nutrition for your life. You're going to be strong. You're going to be fit. You're going to be healthy. And it's flexible. Okay. It's not some giant regimen. You're choosing the foods. You're getting to the gym or even working out at home 3 times a week strategically. Amazing. Now, other episodes will talk about like hydration and sleep and peptides, and that is the next episode where you can accelerate your progress and your results with modern tools. And I consider it an unfair advantage, so why not take advantage of it? So we're going to talk about peptides, biohacking, and supplements, and I will see you in the next episode.